Kado Goes to the Tshechu, written by Tsering, illustrated by Bhattarai. This is Kado. He is a small white dog. He has eyes as bright as stars and a brown patch on his back. He lives with Dechen in a wooden house high up in the mountains of Bhutan. Kado follows Dechen everywhere, in the garden, around the house, and even to school. One bright spring morning, Dechen puts on her finest kira. Her eyes are sparkling and her cheeks glowing. It is the day of the Tshechu. Amma packs their lunches in rainbow-colored bangchungs, red rice with slices of pork cooked with sun-dried chili. Yummy! They are ready to go to the dzong. Dechen is not allowed to take Kado. She pleads with her parents, but they are concerned that Kado will get lost. So no means no. Kado, stay, Dechen tells him. But Kado does not listen. He follows them along the narrow trail beneath the thick pine trees. Dechen takes him back to the house. Then she has an idea, an absolutely brilliant idea. She puts him into her bag and carries him on her back. And that is how Kado goes to the Tshechu. In the field near the dzong, the sounds of beating drums, chiming bells and laughter swirl in the air like a joyful melody. People, young and old, sit together, dressed in their best hand-woven kos and kiras. In the courtyard, masked dancers in vibrant shades of yellow and red are performing a lively dance. Kado is thrilled to see this dazzling new world. The sounds he hears spin his head in dizzy delight, and the rich aroma of different foods make his mouth water. He decides to explore. He jumps out of the bag and off he goes. Dechen feels the slight jerking of the bag and sees him running off into the distance. "Stop!" she calls out, but Kado does not listen. Kado follows the smell of sizzling meat stew to the stalls in the corner of the field. A kind man gives him something to eat. Nearby, some boys are playing a game. They throw smooth, flat stones at a wooden target. Kado watches a boy hit the target with his stone. The boys let out whoops of joyful laughter. They are excited, and Kado is excited too. Kado barks. He bounces to the center of the ground. One boy trips over him, and then another. Now many boys have fallen down on top of each other. The boys see Kado and chase him away. Kado goes away sadly, his tail between his legs. Just then he sees a strange creature in the courtyard. It walks like a man and smells like a man. But it is not something Kado has seen before. It is wearing baggy clothes and its face is made of gleaming red wood. It has a large nose and a wide, curving smile. The creature is saying something and people are laughing. Kado goes up to it and sniffs at its feet. It sees Kado and then, with a dramatic gesture, chases after him. Kado is terrified. He darts through the crowd to make his escape. The sound of laughter follows him. Now Kado is tired. He wants to be with Dechen, but he cannot find her. He sees a small girl with a red dago, but it is not Dechen. At one corner of the courtyard, Kado sees a group of children giggling as they peer into a half-open doorway. Curious as always, he weaves his way through the crowd and goes into the room. It is cool and dark inside. There is a flurry of activity with men bustling about in their costumes. No one sees Kado edging his way inside. He sniffs at the corners of the room, where drums and musical instruments are kept. He also looks at the colorfully painted animal heads placed on the table. Then Kado smells something that makes his mouth water. There on the table he sees a bangchung filled with rice and juicy pieces of meat. It looks delicious. He decides to taste it. "Stop!" a man's shout suddenly rings out. Kado watches, his heart pounding as the man rushes at him. The man tries to catch him. Kado dashes to the right and weaves his way between another man's legs. That man lets out a growl, and then he too begins to chase Kado. Now everyone is trying to catch Kado. Kado finds himself cornered under the table. Suddenly, with all the movement in the room, a small animal mask from the table topples over and lands on Kado's head. Kado cries in fright. The room has suddenly become much smaller and darker. His bark echoes, magnified in the wooden space. Kado cannot see clearly, but he knows that he needs to get out of the room and get this heavy thing off his head. As Kado tries to make his escape, a sea of shadows swirl in a mad dance around him. Somehow, Kado finds his way outside. He runs as fast as he can, like a deer running from a hunter. The noise around him seems to get louder, but this time, instead of angry voices, he can hear laughter. At the same moment, not too far away, Dechen is sitting sadly with her parents. She has looked all over for Kado, but could not find him. She is worried and wonders where he is. She sees the crowd roar with laughter. Something seems to be happening. Amma picks her up so that she can get a better look. There, in the middle of the courtyard, where the dancers are performing gracefully, she sees a small stag running around in circles. A small white stag with a brown patch on his back. She jumps out of her mother's arms and runs breathlessly through the crowd with Amma following after her. "Kado!" she calls out in delight. Kado is trying to get the mask off his head when he hears Dechen's voice. He barks and then he feels warm arms around him, engulfing him in a tight hug. He is safe. Dechen has found him at last. "Don't ever run off like that again," Dechen scolds as she gently removes the mask. Kado answers. He will listen this time. He has learned his lesson. For the rest of the day, Kado stays close to Dechen. He will not leave Dechen's side again. But when the evening shadows begin to creep in, Kado gradually forgets his promise. He hears a loud popping sound and wonders what it is. Would anyone notice if he took a quick peek around? Surely he would be able to find his way back